Yeah, it's kind of not on the tracks.
I can barely make you out.
Are you hurt?
No. I think I'm okay. I'm fine. I need to get out of this tram. It's okay. I think I can make the jump.
Jump!
Yeah, trust us, it's a jump. I got a feeling we should make the jump.
Just got to hurt you. See where you are.
Just give me a second.
Well,
Shit, that was close.
I'd say it was close, alright.
I'm fine. You're breaking up.
The jump?
Hello? Tia? Come in. Radio's not working.
Keep telling that to yourself.
Okay, get it together. First things first. Where the hell am I?
Good question. You're lucky not to have been crushed by the flying wreck. Yeah. The tram has reached its last stop on the line. The sound of its unplanned parking procedure still rings in your head. Haha, funny. The tram's crash has left a menagerie of debris in its wake. Concrete, strips of metal, power lines, and further mangled mess. Nylon emergency tape. A roll of emergency nylon tape rests near the door. We'll take it.
I could use this.
It's an adventure game. Of course you will use tape. Anything else? Leaking metal walls. An oily mixture runs in rivulets down the industrial prefab wall. Looks like a crime scene. This door has thankfully been left unlocked. A sizable comprehensive toolbox has been abandoned here. And a PDA.
Oh, shit. Where the hell am I gonna find a key in this mess?
Use the crowbar.
This ain't working.
How the hell not? Must be quite the block.
51. We left in 2148. 3 years ago.
I guess it's been 3 years.
Had us here for 3 years.
Faded image of a woman smiles back at you from the weather damaged wall calendar. An unremarkable poster has been tacked to the wall. Kane certainly spared no expense on the engineering decks. More often than not, the air conditioning breaks faster than the maintenance can come back to fix it. The walk to the restrooms can exceed 10 minutes on a good day. It's of no consequence. With the lush retirement package Kane has prepared for me, I'd happily work in a cardboard box lined with thumbtacks for the rest of my career. I'm scheduled to receive my new heart and lungs within the next few months, at which point I may finally retire to join my wife Rosalind in Chicago. Until then, cigarettes and foods of the highest saturated fat content will continue to carry me through the next day. This evening I was surveying the equipment on the decks when I noticed something rather unusual. A very fine layer of some sort of fungal substance is beginning to settle on the machinery. The team had found its way into the dials and monitors. They look filthy on the inside. Given the conditions around here, though, the growth of mold on any surface should come as no surprise. But it seems to be interfering directly with the performance of the groom lake, so it's of some urgency that it's taken care of. I've reported it to maintenance. Hopefully they'll be quick in cleaning it up. King Corporation must be pleased with my performance so far. I woke up to a promotion. I'm in charge of the construction of new cloning vats, effective immediately. I have little time to elaborate. This job is important and urgent, I believe. I never anticipated that the project would be on such a huge scale. Clones will be created in mass quantities, utilizing several megavats fitted with special equipment and enrichment liquid to accelerate the growth process. I must enhance the rate at which we'll be creating clone batches. They've invented a method of manufacturing human beings faster than humans can biologically. Project Seed insists that the cloning vats are put to use immediately, despite the fact that they are far from complete. The vats can certainly sustain the cloning process, but some safety precautions are lacking. Like the holding chambers for research clones have no power routed to them, so the electronic locks are useless. The walkways above the vats are still only temporary. O'Sullivan fell over the guardrail and into a vat yesterday. Had it not been filled with sanitizing solution, we would have lost him. The clones appear to operate entirely on instinct. One of the complete human clones in Vat Theta bit a good chunk out of Miss Keen's ear during feeding time. Blech. 3 of the completed research clones tore through their holding chambers analog locks last night over in the labs. They found Peters bent over backwards with his head between his knees. He's not going to be walking again anytime soon. Maintenance will be fixing the electronic locks this evening. O'Sullivan has asked to be assigned to a different project. O'Sullivan's request was denied. Keen, however, had been transferred to Project Seed. I've been stealthily increasing the portions of food to Elon's batch in VAT 449. Although they're just hearts and lungs, I can't help but feel an attachment. Additionally, we've noticed a massive organic matter that has sprouted a tail and swims around aimlessly. O'Sullivan wants to name it after his mother-in-law. Who in their right mind names a defective clone? Samantha, the impossible human fish monstrosity, crushed Elon with her thrashing as she was being removed from her vat. Most of the other clones in the batch have similar deformities. None of them actually grew into hardened lung tissue as they were meant to do. In fact, the results thus far are truly horrifying. Everyone's been acting strangely lately. O'Sullivan didn't show up this week, leaving me to tend to the vats by myself. I don't understand why that's being permitted, but the management would have most certainly dragged him down here by the cheeks if there was no legitimate justification. Speaking of cheeks, one of the complete human clones took a chunk out of mine when I was escorting it to the research lab. Is this where viscera cleanup detail kicks in? Maybe. The Groom Lake has been completely locked down. A massive tremor shook and collapsed the walkways over the cloning vats. I'm trapped. I can't access the bulkhead. If this lockdown is anything like I heard the last one was, it should be over soon enough. Hopefully sooner than later. 2 packs of cigarettes will only last for so long. I think viscera cleanup detail will kick in after we have left the whole thing. I can hear screams of terror through the ceiling. They echo. Each reverberation is a reminder that I'm damn fortunate to be down here and not up there. Although my supplies are running out, I sincerely hope that I don't have to swim for it. If the clones don't get me, cardiac arrest from the aerobic exercise will. Aerobic. There. I know words. I'm going to attempt to swim across Vat Theta. I'll reach the other side and try to get myself to the next level of the ship. Clones have been violently floundering in the growth liquid. Given what they did to Peters, I might not see the other side of this vat. The reminder of this entry is to deliver to my wife. Rosalind, I can only hope that I have the opportunity to deliver this to you myself. If not, I must attempt to express the words that I have longed to convey physically. Should I die before I get off this vessel, every moment of my life, every cumulative experience that has influenced my being will scream your name, begging the reality of inevitable death to spare me, if only to touch you once more. I apologize for and regret every second I have spent away from you. Until that moment we first met, my heart was a void, lacking the fierce fires of passion that you have bestowed within. No matter the outcome of my escape, I will be long dead before they are extinguished. For an eternity after I have perished, you will live on. Your name will ring out through the galaxy, a testament to all of existence that there can never exist a love greater than what I have for you. Your love is my life, and such I am immortal. Famous last words, I guess. That was a lot to read. Construction lights. And the glare of the portable standing light throws the room into stark contrast. Apparently it lights up when I point at it. Though a number of metal containers have been placed here, they currently hold nothing of use. Well, this room holds nothing of use right now, because I cannot open the toolbox. Loading times. That's a nice face down there. Guess it's one of the clones that has been deformed. I wonder if John is actually a clone, but he's one of the perfect ones.
Tia, I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm in some sort of... oh, I'm not sure what to call it.
A vat. It's a vat. The marks on the engineer's corpse leave little doubt that parts of the body have been eaten, though it's not clear whether consumption occurred before or after death. Some portions of the biological broth are thick and viscous, cluttered with parts, and other sections swirl more smoothly in elaborate mandalas. Huh. Interesting.
Something's moving in there.
The flesh has secreted in irregular clumps throughout the vat, forming hairy, muscular hillocks that have suddenly disappeared. The crosswalk that once spanned this vat has collapsed and is now covered by a rippling lagoon of flesh. Okay, whatever there was, it's gone now. And I'm sure, and I am definitely sure it was not a hole. Bodies grown for research, sale, or other unimaginable purposes. It's really disturbing that they keep coming in and out of it. Oh! Rule number 1. Do not step into the cloning goo. I got eaten! Death number 3 then. So what the hell are you supposed to do? Let's find out. I'm sorry if I'm off camera, I'm just leaning on my table here, so let's get my face there. It's much better for me though, just to not to sit on the same position.
I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm in some sort of... oh, I'm not sure what to call it. Something's moving in there. It's alive.
They have given birth to truncated limbs and torsos. Maybe I can run across it like custard? I don't think so. The clones seem to be very fast. So they're gonna just kill me. Oh, there's something. A generator rig hums softly. Electricity pole, huh? Serves the vital function of keeping high voltage electrical... electrical cables away from the liquid-filled vats. Part of you wishes the door had been locked. Construction light. Heavy-duty floodlight has been positioned on this platform, possibly to assist in construction work. Yeah, I have an idea.
I thought that was too easy.
Of course. So we need to use a tool on it. So either the crowbar or the drill. That seemed to loosen it up a bit. Did it work? I don't know. Didn't seem to work. How about the drill? That did it. The darkness pervades even deeper, concealing the size of the chamber. The depths of the chamber are unlit. It's difficult to estimate how far down the tanks go. Can I now push it over? Fully over? Still not enough, huh? Use the drill again.
This isn't going to work.
Use the crowbar.
Okay, now let's see what I can do.
Well, turn it on and see what happens. Okay, that didn't work. Exposed wires. I'm just gonna make sure that this isn't screwed up. Okay, do I use the emergency tape? Let's run over. Bloody handprints. A long smear from a pair of bloody handprints streaked downward into the vats, as if someone was dragged into the bubbling smears. Oh. I know. Big. Jeez. This place is huge. They sound like babies. They're babies. Yeah, that kills me if I get too close. Is there something I have missed? Have I tried combining items?
This should be useful.
A grappling hook. I can make a grappling hook? Where can I use a grappling? Oh. That works.
Rest in peace.
Yes, rest in peace. Okay. Thanks for the hint, Kaz. That was a really helpful hint. So I got the toolbox keys. Okay, now I can move on. I never would have thought of that. Making a freaking grappling hook. A sizable, comprehensive toolbox has been divided here. Yes, I know. So we got ourselves cables. That's all there was, apparently.
This isn't going to work.
I guess I need to use it first on the generator.
This goes on here.
At the other end goes on the exposed wires.
And this goes over here.
Look who's being all smarty pants here. Now let's turn it on.
To your current state of please stay calm.
Oh, I'll be calm. And I'll fry myself to death. Oh!
Stay above the water.
I wouldn't call that water. I would call that icky goo. Yeah, I should just start combining items whenever I get stuck on some parts. I always forget to do that in adventure games, that you can actually combine.
I'm working on getting out of here. I can see a light far above me. I think it's a way out.
Spiderwebs of cracks radiate outward from several damaged sections of this display panel. No power runs through the terminal. It's busted. The screen of the terminal is smashed and splashed with speckles of blood. VAT 11 computer terminal. The metal stamp on this terminal indicates that it controls VAT 11. In front of it sits a throne-like operator's chair. VAT 12, VAT 13. And we came through 14 apparently. Or maybe 10. Are these all references to Fallout? If they are, kudos. Standard growth enhancement agents. Complete human clones, intended for immediate testing. Subject appears to develop bone and tendon structure prior to vital organs, but following nervous system development. Growth of muscle has begun to progress. One specimen ceased to grow and was confirmed dead. Upon autopsy, 3 extra vertebrae were discovered, as well as 2 ribs. However, only a few teeth were found deep within the mandible. The growth of all specimens has accelerated. Any given clone measures just under 7 feet and possesses the axillary ribs and vertebrae observed in the failed subject. All vital organs are present and appear to be performing normally. Despite the abnormal rib and spinal developments, the clones seem to be perfectly functional and fully matured. One, however, was rendered blind as a result of improper sphenoid development. How many ribs do normal humans have? Is it 14? I can't remember. Standard growth enhancement age is 150% concentration plus additional growth hormones obtained from Project Seed. Incomplete human clones. Intended for harvest of pulmonary and coronary tissue. Products developing at 800% acceleration from the selected control group. However, several anomalies have occurred. Anomaly example: a tissue mass has developed into a tail of sorts. It circles the vat using the aforementioned tail to propel itself. So that's Samantha, huh? Mass with tail appendage has been assigned a name Samantha. Despite the previous belief that the circling behavior was a product of instinct, it is now clear that it has been surveying the vat's electronic safety net and searching for vulnerabilities. So it was a smart defection of an anomaly. Samantha has been extracted and moved to security for temporary storage. She thrashed violently upon removal, damaging equipment and other specimens. Yeah, that's what we read as well. A broken ladder. Broken ladder rests on its side like a wounded beast. A sunken generator power generator is half submerged in the foul-smelling organic goop. In the dim light, your eyes can make out more discernible shapes in the meaty clumps below. The arc of an arm, a head's partial dome, and the spinal curve of a body in the fetal position. Ugh. 24 ribs, 12 per side. Didn't they say in the beginning that John had rib 14 broken? And right in this vat they were speaking of the subject having an extra pair of ribs and 3 vertebrae. Yeah, John is a clone. He's a freaking clone. He just doesn't know it yet. But I know it. So let's see what's in the... What did it say there? A plastic tiki doll stands at the back of the keyboard, its skirt swaying back and forth in a silent luau. Okay. One of those typical girl dolls. The bobbing Hawaiian girl. Growth agent enriched with additional amino acids, 300% concentration, enhanced human clones, intended for immediate research. Specimens began to move about the vat immediately during the embryonic phase. All subjects developing at nearly 500% acceleration. Effect of growth agent, the concentration of subject development ruled parabolic rather than linear. Multiple subjects have combined to form a larger mass of anthropoid limbs and organs. It surfaced and was then ruled deceased. It appears to be composed of approximately 12 human-like bodies, all roughly infant-sized. Batch has been active for 96 hours. Development of other subjects remains regular. So some clones failed and they combined together to make a super clone. Below the observation platform, a sea of artificially grown flesh sits slowly rotting. The process of decay only partially stalled by the chill running through the room. Ew. This place is freaking awful and creepy.
Perfect.
What is perfect? That there's a broken ladder? Ah, there's a ladder. A crossbeam. Runs between the support columns. Well, I know what to do with that. Indiana Jones this shit. Oh yeah. Now let's go up. Up, up, and away! I knew that would happen. It was destined to happen. Damn, they have a lot of bats.
I hate this damn place.
Yeah, me too. It's very disgusting. So get out of here. Fast. It's a long way to climb.
John, can you hear me?
Tia, it's soft, but I can hear you.
Holy hell! Game. Rarely trafficked areas breed unconventional forms of life. Here, the graffiti tagger has covered the tram station with a wide variety of tribal markings. Okay. The trams grip the tracks greedily with their many legs. Well, that's how trams work. Boarded up tram. Boarded up tram entrances they indicate that the trams have been out of service for some time. Too bad I don't have my crowbar anymore, so I can't go inside. So this way we go.
There's some sort of interference with the structure.
I'm in a tram station.
And I heard giggling. I heard giggling. There was a giggle. And there's a shadowy shape. Methinks that there be some clones walking around without permission in the tram lines.
The tower.
The tower?
I am pressurizing the raw materials containment tank.
Tia, come in.
John, thank goodness, I can hear you. You just disappeared. No radio, no PDT.
Who the hell was that?
Dr. Gerardus Milan, head of special projects.
He knew you.
It's a big ship. And, I'm in a different division to him entirely. Only met him once. A real arsehole.
Well, it seemed to be like that.
Just want to get my family out of this goddamn place.
That's the plan.
The door went right through me. Or maybe we went through right the door. Through right the door. English.
You mentioned earlier that you lost my PDT. Second.
Personal data tag. board has one.
Yeah, not me.
The tags monitor everything. Security access, food intake, location tracking.
Everyone has a tag. We can use it to find my family.
I'm afraid it doesn't work like that, John.
Like hell it doesn't. If I'm tagged, then so are they. You said.
I can only access your tag because the DocMake scanners registered you. I've scanned for your family and I can't pick them up.
Are they on the ship? Have they been rescued?
It only means the PDTs haven't been activated. But I still have an idea that might just work.
I do tell. We're open for ideas here, lady. If you got one, tell us. Then things might go even smoother than they have.
From the crew quarters, you should be close to an infirmary with a DNA sequencer. If you could get your blood into the sequencer, I could scan the ship for familial DNA.
Oh, that works.
I can find your daughter. Then...
We can use her DNA to find Ellen.
Exactly.
Notice. Reserve power facilities are online.
Awesome.
Backup systems are now enabled and functioning at benchmark levels.
Awesome. Temperature is minus 218 degrees Celsius.
The scaffolding forms a protective shell around the assorted machinery, rising toward the high ceiling. Maze-like shadows are cast onto the walls and ground. Well, that's how it looks like. A multitude of machines and pipes knitted together, lie redundant. This screen broadcasts only one channel, an endless storm of static. I guess that's what the other one is as well. Reverbs. These ghosts. Crew Commons or Security Office? Crew Commons. That's always a good place to go first.
Once we know where Becca is, how can I get to her?
There is another tram through the crew quarters. Once we know where you're going, we'll move forward from there.
More trams.
Yeah, just like in Dead Space. Or Bioshock.
God forgive us.
Yeah, that's Dead Space. A long landscape of a serene mountainscape intended to provide a sense of calm and perspective. Maybe I should go to the security office after all. Got a feeling I might need a gun. Or anything. A dead security guard. The security guard seems to have died while sitting in this cushioned recliner. It tilts back at an angle that will hold the body for a long, long time. So what do you have? More text to read. This new guy, Anderson, is really something. 5 minutes in the door, he's already asking what all the computers do. I like it. He's inquisitive, just like my boy back home. I'm glad he got put here in the shift change, but I'm disappointed that neither of these two are ladies. I could use some female company. Okay, maybe Anderson is a little more confused than inquisitive, but his heart is in the right place. I can respect that, but Sarge? How the hell did the boy get Sarge from Serato? Paul is just plain obnoxious. Food's not coming for a while. Fortunately, somebody's been making moonshine. It's not the White Oak whiskey from back home, but you don't come across that much liquor in space. Looks like I'll be moderating the supply, so to speak. Hutchison just tried to arrest someone. Prick. Rashes are in. Good thing too. The liquor wasn't keeping the crew at bay like it used to. This entire ship smells like shit. It's always been bad, but it gets worse every day. There's even a different type of shit every once in a while. Beyond me. Room Lake is on lockdown. Tremors, power outages, and several injured. Some guys left 3 days ago to repair a tram station. Haven't heard from them since. I can only fear the worst. I don't want to wait to figure out what's been going on around here. Paul and I have agreed on a solution, but Anderson isn't grasping it. I don't expect him to. I know Anderson would have trouble coping. I knew he wouldn't understand. At least he went easier than we will. He saw so much in his short life, there just wasn't room for more. He'll never have a funeral. Nobody back home is going to think of him and wonder what happened. I think Paul and I are the only people in this ship who knew him by name. Maybe that Samantha girl he was talking about still remembers him. Her dog could have been named after him, Or maybe he picked her a flower and she tucked it into a book. I never did read much, but right now, I'd love to be holding a book. Paul would work. He's the only author I know by name. I haven't talked to Paul. He thinks I'm drinking, but I'm too preoccupied with Anderson for that. I figure I'm writing this for a reason. What if nobody ever reads it? What if the ship just drifts to the edge of the universe, dead and empty? If you exist, if you somehow stumble upon this, remember Anderson for me. He reminds me so much of how my son used to be. If you don't do it, nobody will. I don't beg. I never beg. But if you're a decent human, you know why you have to. Remember Anderson. Barely awake. Typing is an effort. Moonshine is not water. Hodgson had last word. Great security here. No wonder everything failed. Another terminal that might have provided access to advanced system functions, if it weren't hopelessly powered down. This bank of monitors was designed to display the view from various security cameras around the facility. Let's take a look. A skull and poison. Okay. Security camera annex. Can we push anything? Guess we can't do anything. How about the computer terminal? Crew quarters, security logs. Alcohol is being manufactured and distributed aboard the Groom Lake. Security has opted to take an approach of non-intervention, as its effect on morale will likely prevent theft and potential riots associated with the limited rations. However, security will regularly confiscate quantities of alcohol to moderate the supply. Rations have arrived and been distributed. Very few reported or evidential cases of theft. This can likely be attributed to the morale increase speculated as a result of distribution of alcohol. Specimen Samantha received for transport to Laboratory 18. This specimen from the cloning mass is contained in an iron lung. Transport needs to be arranged quickly. Specimen scraping against the inside of the containment unit. Tremors have struck the Groom Lake. Power outages and severe injuries have been reported. Lockdown is in effect. 4 crew members have been reported missing while attempting to restore our trans station to working order. To prevent further loss or injury, the corridor has been sealed and flooded with highly corrosive gas. I got a feeling that Samantha might be the monster in this. Atmosphere control access. Motion detector.
I'll need to figure something out here.
Yeah. And what about what's inside there anyway? What about the security cameras? Maybe there is something that I missed? Portals into life support.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take a moment of silence to remember Henry Kane. We ask that you join us in recognizing his greatness.
I don't want to. I got more important things to do than remember Kane of the Kane Corporation. The viewing portals look in upon the disturbingly grimy life support control room. Crumpled body rests against the slanted bulkhead in a leisurely repose. The uniform indicates it's a security officer. Got something for me?
I cut his wrists.
Oh, that's Hodgson. This whole shift change thing is quite strange. Yes, Samantha? Got something to say? Putting Ronald in security when he's obviously not equipped strikes me as irresponsible. Oh, well, I'm sure I can compensate. I noticed when out telling us to follow the new security guidelines this evening. I wonder what happened. It's only a few extra doors to lock as far as I'm concerned. Easy enough. Food supplies are stalled and people are getting nervous. Someone's been distilling alcohol despite the fact that the express authorization is required to even possess it. Ivan was describing the concept of moonshine to Ronald, and the guy asked how moonshine could exist if we're in a spaceship so far away from the moon. I swear to God, if aliens board the ship and pick us off one by one or something, I want to see Ronald go first. I really want to do something about this alcohol situation. It's my duty to ensure that the Groom Lake's crew is secure and that important research isn't interfered with. At least I'd like to believe so. These clowns don't share the sentiment. This ass end of the ship just started exploding and jolted everything that wasn't bolted down. There's a goddamn pen stuck in the wall next to me. I can only imagine all the people injured right now, but can't leave on account of the lockdown. Lockdown or not, Station B is fucked. So getting to medical isn't happening. Someone suggested that we could use the specimen transport track, but that's shady as all hell. There's no leaving the security center now. Staring at Ronald's lifeless body is a fucking superior alternative to being ripped apart by whatever's outside. I hear screams. They're distant and muffled. Silence. 24 hours of silence. Not a scream, not a footstep. Still not a word from Ivan. The guy looked away from the atmosphere control room just before Ronald pulled the plug. I got bored and read Ronald's file. He had a lot of stuff running really deep. Maybe he wasn't ignorant after all. That's it for the water. I refused to drink anything but moonshine. I tried my best to get him to have water. Stubborn bastard wouldn't hear it. He hasn't moved in a while. Okay. So he died of dehydration, and he killed himself. Lovely. A strong metal door.
Just fucking open!
Motion detection device has been installed above the door. So we need to make something move up there. There's nothing here. Let's go to the crew quarters. See what we find there. Okay. A dead body. Body lies slumped against the entrance bulkhead with its head hanging forward. It's almost impossible to imagine him having a nap during a long shift.
I wish I could do something.
Dr. Rick Graham. I'm getting sick of this bumps and scrapes bullshit. I didn't get this degree just so I could stitch idiots up when they accidentally stab themselves with a pen. I want to do fun experiments. Is that too much to ask? It's not like I want to be a mad scientist and sew new arms onto people or anything. Although human spiders would be cool. It's a miracle. Security somehow ended up passing a container from one of the cloning vats onto me. It's labeled Samantha. They understand it's to be transferred to Lab 18, right? Oh, well, no reason I can't observe it for a while, right? I'll have my loyal assistant Miriam make up some good excuses for me. This creature is marvelous. The notes included don't say much, but I'm pretty sure that she didn't have a fully formed spine when they packaged this girl up. It describes her as being just a tail. There are some other bones as well, but I didn't major in monster anatomy. I wish I had, though. You can't make this shit up. This fucker grew eyes. I mean it. She did not have these that last time I checked. They're rudimentary, sure, but it just grew. They follow me around. At this point, I'm going to take credit for Samantha entirely. I mean, they can't prove that there was anything more than some stem cells in that container at the last day site, right? From now on, Samantha is mine. I can't wait to see what she turns into. Lab 18 is definitely getting suspicious and impatient. I'm running out of excuses for why I haven't transferred Samantha yet. I need Miriam to stall a bit longer. I read her PDA, so I know she wants to turn me in. She wants my job. Fortunately, I have video of her screwing the guys from the lab. All of them. So there's my job security. This just got serious. The tremors knocked me over the counter and I twisted a muscle in my knee. It's going to be a long lockdown spent bandaging people up without any access to the full medical wing. Samantha isn't mine anymore. Some other poor folks can't take responsibility for this one. I heard shrill screams coming from the entertainment area. The first and last time I performed surgery, the patient woke up and started screaming her head off. Something about seeing your own exposed ribs really bothers people. Anyway, these screams were like that. Only more intense. They're the screams of the dying. I've locked the emergency bulkhead. No sign of Miriam. Well, things went badly. This entrance leads to the medical laboratory. This especially large frosted glass door is coated with the dirt of neglect. Anybody home? I think that's Samantha then. The cylindrical hyperbaric chamber is welded shut, creating a metal tomb for anyone inside. Samantha?
I'm not sure.
Well, she's still in there, apparently. So Samantha is not the problem. Something else is. Ah, Miriam. But the Graham is up to no good. This weird pod accidentally arrived in our medical bay. Hold your horses, clone monsters. We will get to you at some point. You have already eaten me twice, so give it a little break. I'm reading. It holds the most terrifying creature I've ever seen in my entire life. And he says it's beautiful? He wants me to find excuses for why it isn't being transferred to Lab 18. Good thing the guys there like me. I'll help him keep it a secret for now. Although I might get his job if I could get him kicked off the Broom Lake. I'll keep an eye on what he's up to. Interesting, this thing is growing all sorts of body parts at ungodly rates. The notes say that it was just a tail and some flesh at some point, but I don't even see the tail anymore. What kind of fucked up experiments are we doing? Fuck. I'm locked out of medical bay and Dr. Graham has locked himself in there with that thing. We need to help these injured people, insufferable prick. They want to use this specimen transport track to get the injured crew members to the medical wing. Even if the ship wasn't falling apart, that's a terrible idea. It's funny to see everyone frantically typing away on their PDAs. Who's gonna read it? The surface of whatever planet's gravitational pull the lifeless Groom Lake gets sucked into doesn't care about your damn feelings. Well, she took it negatively. Everything, I mean. Frosted glass window. Congealed blood runs down the frosted glass wall. Well, we're here to use the DNA scanner. This device appears to analyze the DNA of samples placed on its receiving tray. How about we use it?
I think this is it.
Excellent. You need to get your blood sample onto the receiving tray, and I'll do the rest.
How? How are you doing this? You okay? So, how do we get some blood on it? Is there some kind of a tool that I can... Oh, I've used this.
Maybe. No.
Use it on yourself then? There. Blood sample.
Okay, it's working.
Receiving the genetic info. This is good, John. This is excellent.
Excellent.
Wait. I can hear something.
Yeah, I can hear it too. And it's not good. What is it that we hear? Once alive and breathing, now a lifeless rotting corpse. Hello? Anybody out here?
Next time on Stasis.
Warning. Serotonin levels are abnormal.
Serotonin levels, really? Right.